Hi, welcome to the RV Boss. My name is Willie. So since 2017, I've been using the Outdoorsy platform to build and manage my RV rental business. And since that time, I've listed a variety of vehicles on the platform. But prior to getting started, I was curious to know, what it was like realistically to rent out an RV, not only on the platform, but just in general in the marketplace. And specifically, I wanted to know about overhead costs, repairs and maintenance, and what was the best vehicle to rent out. So in this video, I'm going to share details about my earnings, some of the overhead costs that I've incurred, and strategies that I use to maximize profitability renting out a Class C motorhome. So hopefully this information will be helpful to anybody who's interested in building an RV rental business, or if you're just curious to know about my process. So with that, let's get started. So first, to get an idea of what RV was the most popular and best to rent out on the platform, I took a look at the Outdoorsy website and got an idea of which was the most popular RV that was rented out on their platform. I found that the travel trailers were the most frequently rented RVs. However, in the motorized category, the Class C motorhomes were by far the most popular rented out RVs. And I later learned that in the motorized coaches, the Class C had more sleeping capacity, and primarily because it had a cab over sleeper that was really popular amongst families with children. And what I found out was that a lot of the kids, they love climbing up into that cab sleeper and sleeping up in that area. The other thing was that the vehicle is built on a van chassis in most cases, so it's a lot more familiar for people who are first-time RV users or even have never driven a large vehicle like that before. They feel a lot more comfortable because the cockpit is lower to the ground and it's similar to a van. So it's not something that's unfamiliar or foreign to people who have never done that before. The next step I did was to come up with a budget to get an idea of where I would either buy used or buy pre-owned. So my budget was $30,000, which put me in the pre-owned category, which ultimately helped me out because I was able to pay off the RV loan a lot quicker. So I began to search RVs using rvtrader.com, and that allowed me to kind of pinpoint some of the criteria that I was looking for in the area that I was living in. And you can also use like Craigslist or any other place that you might find a used RV. One of the things that I wish that I knew prior was looking at some of the auctions and some of the online auctions like Copart.com, where you can find good used RVs at a decent price, but you can also find RVs that need slight repair done. And in those cases, you can get a really good price for an RV. And sometimes the repairs are things as little as just hail damage, which really isn't going to affect much as far as listing the RV. So ultimately, I ended up purchasing a pre-owned 2007 Four-Wind Chateau Class C motorhome for $28,000, and it had 18,000 miles on it, and it was from a dealer that was about 2 hours away from my house. So the first thing I wanted to do was create some market differentiation, and I did that by just doing some minor upgrades to the interior of the RV, primarily because it was an older model. So things like having USB ports, I installed those, smart TVs throughout the RV, and then I painted all the interior cabinets and walls all white, so it gave it a little bit more bright look to it. Also changed out the faucets in the shower and the sink, the kitchen sink and the bathroom sink, so that it had a little bit more newer look to it, and really just mimicked more of the later model RVs that were on the market. I also fully stocked the RV so that it had linen, towels, toilet paper, flatware, kitchenware, all the things that were needed to be a fully turnkey package for a rental on the marketplace. Outdoorsy gave me a competitive nightly rate based on my market area, and I just went ahead and used that. And then what I did was I added some free add-ons, some things like barbecue grill, tables, chairs, even in some cases like paddle boards if people are interested in those. And then I offered free parking, so people could have a place to keep their car safe while they are away on their trip. Finally, I offered unlimited generator usage and mileage complimentary. And my thought process behind that was just to, differentiate my RV in my marketplace. And a lot of RVs weren't doing that. So I went ahead and did that. Now, there's also a strategy you can charge for that. So I'm not saying one way or another is better, but that's what I ended up doing, and it worked out for me. And finally, as simple as it may sound, I just answered all the inquiries about my rental. And so many times I've heard from renters over the course of the years that they've reached out to an owner and never heard anything back. And so, I wanted to make sure that people felt comfortable, with me and doing business with me. So I always returned any inquiry within a few hours. And, I've gotten a lot of positive reviews about that specific strategy. Another great tool that I used was social media. I've just leveraged basically Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. And that just allowed me to get a little bit more authority, visibility in the marketplace, and ultimately drove leads to my listing. YouTube was especially helpful because it allowed me to create videos, like explainer videos about the features and the functions of the RV, and then also welcome videos and introduction videos so that the potential renter could meet me ahead of time and feel comfortable in making a decision to rent my RV. In addition to that, I also made marketing videos. So putting my RV in action, and they could see it at campgrounds and offering suggestions for cool places to take the RV. What I learned was that most of the people that are renting RVs, they've never used an RV before. So it's their first time. They don't know where to go. They've always had this idea, a dream that they wanted to rent an RV and go camping. So it helped to give them some ideas of where to take the RV and really just kind of see it in action and visualize seeing themselves doing it. One other great strategy that I used was building a business website. Even though Outdoorsy provides pretty much everything you need, you don't have to have a business website to have a successful rental business and get some bookings. However, what I found was that if you have a website, in my case, I could host all the videos that I created, and I could have them on one central location. I gained authority in search engine results. So for Google searches and things like that, I was able to then, when people searched in the local area, they could find my listing. And then I could also sell products on my website. So merchandise, t-shirts, coffee mugs, and other affiliate products that I could use, like from Amazon, that were camping related. So if people wanted to buy certain perishable products, or maybe even tablecloths, things like that, they could do that through my website, use my affiliate link, and that's another form of revenue. So it helped to add to profitability as well. But most importantly, and what I learned later, was the ability to retain customer reviews. Outdoorsy provides you the ability to retain reviews on their website so that it's listed when people find your listing. However, the minute you take a vehicle off of that website, whether you sell it or you want to transfer it to another platform or whatever you want to do with it, all the reviews are tied to each specific vehicle. So therefore, your profile, if you take off one vehicle, it eliminates all those reviews. So having a business website, you're able to capture all those reviews and hold them in one central location for the life of your business. And if you decide to leave the platform or you want to go out on your own, you have those reviews and you can use them as you please, basically. All right, so let's talk about some of the maintenance and repair issues that come up. So managing the cost and the frequency of repairs and maintenance really was the biggest factor in maximizing my overall profitability. And depending on the marketplace that you're in, the location, those factors can have a huge impact on the business. In my location, for example, most of the shops that work on RVs, they have really slow turnaround times. And in the high season, they're inundated. So if you're lucky, you can get a 2-month turnaround time on a repair. And sometimes they charge double the cost. So you know, it's best to, if you can, do a lot of things yourself. And that was my strategy. I wanted to DIY as many things as possible to mitigate those costs, cut those down, and then also, more importantly, you know, increase turnaround times. Because in the summertime, for me, especially here in the Northeast, I've got to have that RV ready to go. And some of those reservations are back to back. So even though those repair costs are mostly passed through to the renter in the form of insurance claims or their security deposit, there are electrical and mechanical issues that can come up that you have to pay for as the owner. One maintenance activity that has to be covered by the owner are oil changes. And due to the size of the RV, you can't just take the RV to a Jiffy Lube or any other place that a car can get their oil changed. It has to be done at a specific shop that works on large vehicles, trucks, or specific to RVs. And that can usually add up a lot. Most of those charges are going to be double. Example being Camping World, if you want to take that. For a typical standard gasoline RV, their minimum charge is $165 per oil change. Versus if you went and purchased the oil yourself, you'll spend $29 and then $5 for a filter. So, you know, in my case, in one season, I racked up 30,000 miles in rental mileage. And at a 3,000 mile interval change, you can kind of see and do the math, that's going to start to add up. So I was able to save a pretty good amount of money over the course of the season just by doing the oil changes myself. And really more importantly, increasing the turnaround times. If I had a reservation that was back to back, you know, I didn't have to take it to the shop and wait 3-4 days or even a week to get the RV back and then ultimately miss that booking. So that also helped tremendously in the profitability. All right, so let's check out the final statistics here. So the total financing charge for the month was $530. I had 20 total bookings for the year. With 30,000 miles accrued over that time. And then my overhead costs, including the repairs and maintenance, was $5,140. And then I just totaled out the total payments for the year, the monthly payments for the year at $6,456. Subtract that from the total net earnings of $29,551. And it brought me at a total profit of $17,955. So that's it. Hopefully you got some value out of the video. If you did, click the like button and consider subscribing. I've put together some other videos on the channel that could also be helpful. If you happen to have a question or a comment or even just a helpful suggestion, please feel free to leave that in the comment section below. And also, if you're interested in listing your RV on the Outdoorsy platform, I placed a referral link in the description section. Thanks for watching and supporting the channel, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care.